Go Slowly Joe, a podcast of talks between mind and soul, while rambling between personal and real experiences, and also some hypothetical, bringing always a deep meaning about everything with inner connection, truth, and mindfulness. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the episode number 45 of the Go Slowly Joe podcast. As always, it's a pleasure to be here. And, before I start recording, I just usually stay here a little bit. I connect with my angels, archangels, with my guides. I connect with my ancestors. I ask for them to be with me, to be here supporting me. It's something that I really invite you to do. And if you feel like, but how do I do that, Joanna? If you feel like it's not something that it's yet available to you and you would like it to be, or you would like to practice it somehow, let me know, because I would love guiding you to do that, because it's such a powerful movement for us to understand that we are not by ourselves, even though life is an individual path. We are here doing it side by side with other individuals, and we are part of something bigger from this physical place where we are, in particular from we are part of our family systems. We are part of all the systems that are around us and that we are integrating, like friendships, relationships, our jobs, our workplaces. Doesn't matter what it is. And then in a wider perspective, we are also part of indeed something bigger, something wider. So a connection that we can have to the divine, whatever the divine means to you. You know that I like to approach spirituality in a, or if you don't know, I'm telling you now, in an open way. I even live in a country where there are so many religions here present. So I feel like spirituality, it's much more than religion. It's much more than the way how you approach your spirituality. Spirituality is about who you are as a complete being, right? So whatever for you it means, the divine and the divine connection that suits you, I hope that it's something good for you and it's something that brings you light and the connection to your own light and to your own possibilities. Okay, I didn't expect to start this episode with this. Let's see where this leads us to. I hope you've had a lovely month of January. January, everyone says, oh, it's such a long month. My God, it seems like it's never ending. And indeed, I feel like we all kind of felt this again this year. When I lived in Spain, there was this expression that I've been saying this to so many people lately, when I talk about the fact that January is so long. And there is this expression in Spanish, which is the La Cuesta de Enero, as if it was something that we have to go through. And it's like, it's hard, and it's hard for us to go through January in general. I'm not going to start bringing Spanish into this, because otherwise my brain is going to be all over the place. But I love this expression. And indeed, like, I don't know, payments, like financially, and also in other terms, like it's a month that usually it's kind of, I wouldn't say hard, but it's long, right? So I hope you've had a nice month of January of 2024. Whenever you're going to be listening to this, I hope that you just had a nice month. For me, to be honest, it was indeed a long month, and a month where I've done quite a few things. So I went to Portugal during Christmas time and New Year's. And once I was just sitting down here at home, and I just realized, you know what? I started this month, so January, still in Portugal, and then I came here and to Abu Dhabi, and I've done so many things already. And this doing many things doesn't mean that I've accomplished something that I can touch, but doing many things, sometimes it's just realizing things, it's just processing things, it's just feeling things, it's just going through things. And yes, this is what I felt that January was for me. I hope that for you, it treated you well. So let's move into the topic of the episode number 45. So, when I did a few notes here on my notebook, I haven't shown you my notebook in quite a while, so I'm just going to show it to you. It was sent by a beautiful friend of mine from Portugal till here to Abu Dhabi, and I love this notebook, and it's the one that I use always to plan the topics of the Go Slow with Joe podcast. And this notebook says "You are magic," and it has this beautiful that I love. Yeah, but just as a detail. Details also matter, right? Even though they shouldn't stop us. If I ever don't have the notebook, I shouldn't stop myself from recording the podcast. But I believe that these details also matter very much. And these details make life more special. And for me, this notebook makes the Go Slow with Joe podcast even more special, and it has its own notebook. So I feel like it's nice to do it this way. And I also see the pages going through, from the episode number 1 until now, episode number 45. So I can see life happening and life going by and life happening. Why? So I was telling you that when I did some notes for this episode specifically, I wrote down um, the topic, and even though I knew already what I wanted to talk about, what I wrote was life happening. And I think that I'm going to still change the topic, because I think that if I share this episode with this topic, no one is going to be interested in listening to it. And yes, I have to also understand that, of course, when we go into one episode or when we look for something, the topic indeed matters. So the cover of the book also sells, right? So it also matters. So I think I'm not going to call it this way, but just to share with you that this was the topic that I wrote in the beginning. And indeed, what I'm going to talk about today is really life happening. So what is life happening? What are you talking about, Joanna? I'm talking about failure. Oh, wow, failure. And, I've been having lots of conversations online and even in person as well with so many people that sometimes approach me and they feel like they are failing in life. They are failing in something. They had a certain aim, they had a certain goal in their lives, and they feel like they are failing because life. And I started telling you before about January. I feel like so many things happened in my life, but maybe I feel like I still didn't accomplish something that I really want, but every single step is leading me there. This is important. However, I'm going to bring you because this approach that I was just starting could even lead to another episode, because every step is important, of course. But I'm going to bring you the connection to failure in another way. So, why failure? I have to admit that I fell from my bike in the last few days. I was cycling very happily and fiercely, and I was just like in my mood to go somewhere, actually to go back home. And suddenly I fell. And I fell really badly, actually. I hurt myself. My bike has some parts that are like, it's still intact, but the bike itself, like, yes, there are some parts who are not perfect anymore. And yeah, you can even see on the video, I have some scratches even. Yes, my legs also, they are a mess. So I was sad when this happened, And first of all, the way how I approached this falling, this fall, was like, okay, I have to be quick. I have to get out of the street. I have to be at home right now. So I just have to keep on going. But this made me think about failure. Okay, so what I'm bringing and what I'm trying to say with this, like, okay, Joanna, but you fell from the bike. Why is that failure? Okay, because sometimes what I feel is that we can approach certain moments and certain moments where we fall or where we fail in our lives as failures. And is it a failure? To be honest, when I got up again on my bike, I felt that I was failing. First of all, I felt like I failed myself. I'm going to go into detail in a little bit. And second of all, I felt like I failed just because I fell from my bike. And you're telling me, okay, but that makes no sense. Okay, it was just the way how I and my internal self approached this. And okay, but what happened? I'm going to tell you as a storytelling moment. So first of all, again, I was on my bike, I was cycling back home. I was like even a little bit in a rush, so I needed to be home. And yes, I was on the bikes lanes, so I was doing everything that I had to do. I had my helmet on, which here in Abu Dhabi is obligatory. And I was on the bike lane. I even remember the moment where I was not on the bike lane, and then I changed to it because, like doing things by the book. I was like, you know what? Let me just move to the bike lane and be in the place where I have to be. And then suddenly, when I was okay, there is this part in the bicycle lane that it's kind of there is a cross for people who are walking to go, pedestrians, to cross the street. And but it's not well signalized, so there's nothing saying that bikes should stop. What it's saying, or what's kind of implicit here, is that pedestrians they have to look around because they are crossing the bikes lanes, and in order for them to go to the cross, or their own cross, to cross the street, right? So this lady, she was just literally crossing, and or she was not even crossing yet. I was just, cycling. And then suddenly she started crossing, and I saw that she was not seeing me. And I was just approaching her so quickly that my brain just froze. And I have a little thingy that makes noise for people to see me. And I forgot that I could even scream, So, and this is something very important too. That my journey here started with the fact that I felt like I had no voice. And it's something that I still go there sometimes, because it's something that I don't feel like it's a trauma anymore in my life. But sometimes I catch myself not using my voice. So it's something that I have to be aware of through all my life. This is what I feel. So my brain just completely froze, and my reaction was, I'm gonna brake. And I stopped the bike so instantly that the tires just yes, in contact with the floor, just literally just, I don't know, did something, and I fell on the floor. So, and then this lady, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was just looking at the crossing light. I didn't even look around. I'm so sorry. And I was just so quick. I was like, it's okay, it's okay. I just didn't want to run you over. This was my feeling. And when I went onto my bike, so this was the fall, right? When I went onto my bike, still aching, like, oh my God, it hurts, but I don't even know where, because it hurts everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, I just failed myself. So first thing, how I approached this fall was victimization. And I was not mad at the lady, but I was kind of mad because I didn't use my voice. So I didn't even remember to just scream. So it's something that, since it's my path in life, and it has been for so many years, it's something that I was like, you know what, I should have used my voice. Why didn't I use my voice? And then I didn't even remember the thingy that makes noise for me to cross and for people to see me. But I was mad. I was mad at myself because I didn't use my voice. But victimization, why? Because I felt and I thought, you know what, for me, not to run over someone, not to hurt someone, I ended up hurting myself. And I even thought, when I was on my bike, I was like, you know what, I'm going to talk about this on the podcast. But then when I got home, I was like, you know what? No, and I started telling the story to my husband, and he was like, "Oh, okay, you almost died," and all this. That was dangerous, and I realized that, you know what, I'm approaching this throughout the lens of victimization. So I'm putting myself into the victim uh, perspective of from the point of view of being the victim out of this. And of course, kind of was, because I was the one who hurt myself, and my bike is kind of weird right now. But yes, so first of all, for me not to hurt someone else, of course, that maybe since I was on a bike, I would probably hurt myself too by running over this person. But in order not to hurt someone else, I hurt myself. Okay, this is a topic, right? And I could even come here and talk to you about self-love. And yes, this is a message for us, that for us not to hurt, or yes, not to hurt someone else. We usually hurt ourselves. I totally agree with that, but there is something even deeper from this, which is, okay, but I did the best I could in that moment. Like, it was the reaction I could have done, and I think still, even though I hurt myself, I feel like it was the best reaction I could have had, because if I would run over that person, probably I would have had other problems. She would be hurt as well. I would be hurt probably as well. My bicycle could be even worse, because I would be running over someone else and hurting myself and still falling and all this. I don't know what could have happened, right? And then I started feeling that, like, you know what, maybe this situation can be seen from another angle, which is, okay, instead of feeling like I was the victim here, and in order not to run over this person that was not aware of her surroundings, instead of feeling the victim of this situation, I can see this from the point of view of, like, I did the best that I could. So I can see this from the point of view of, I was strong enough to just have a proper reaction, still hurt myself, and still understand that this person was not to blame. And I feel like this is the adult possibility for me to, or the adult perspective for me to see this situation. And well, this has so many layers that I'm trying to see how I can bring this to you in a clear way, because okay, when we are children, what we do ideally is we run to our parents and say, "Oh, that person, she went into my way, and because of her, I hurt myself, and it hurts so bad." And our parents probably, they kiss our wounds, or they say it's gonna be fine. They treat our wounds and all these. And maybe the perspective that we got from our childhood is that there are people who are bad, and that they are on our way, so they are bad people, and there are other people that are just good, like our parents, that take care of ourselves, and we are victims from this situation, so we are also good people. But what if there is another perspective on this? And the strong perspective I want to bring you here is that, and I even, okay, I did what I could, and I still fell. That's it. That's it. And I bring you this sentence, which is, it's possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. This is not a weakness, that's life. And that's why I told you in the beginning that this is life happening, right? Life happening could be the topic of this episode. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you again. It's possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That's not a weakness. That's life happening. That's life. Okay, sit with that. See what that brings you. Okay, so in order not to run over someone and maybe even hurt myself even more, my reaction was an impulse, and I just broke my yes, I just I hit the brakes of my bicycle, and I just decided to stop immediately. Because of that, I hurt myself, and my bicycle is not at 100% right now. Okay, I could keep approaching this situation in from a victimization point of view, like, you know what, I did what I could, and I still fell, and that person should have been aware of her surroundings, and I hurt myself because of that person. Okay, you know what, this is okay, and please save a moment in your life, whatever you are associating this with. Save a moment in your life for you to be able to see this, because I had to take care of my wounds. I have to, I'm doing ice patches and all this because I have like black spots in my skin all over. So I still felt a little bit sad for my inner child, because I was so happy. I was like cycling home and all this. But okay, instead of being sad, I can be the adult, responsible adult in like, you know what, Joanna, it's fine. You did what you could. Let me just take care of your wounds and everything is going to be fine. And this was the way how my adult version decided to deal with the situation. And also the adult version, the other part was that, okay, you are not weak. You are not weak. This is not a weakness. You did nothing wrong. And because you fell, you are not weak. You are strong. You are strong. You are able to deal with the fact that you fell and that your bike is X or Y and that you hurt yourself. So you are strong. This is not a weakness. You did what you could. And okay, you did what you did in order not to run over that other person. This was my first thing. But at the same time, okay, is this a weakness? Is this a weakness? Because I've put maybe the other person, the first thing I thought was, I don't want to run her over, so I'm going to brake now. She's not going to see me, so I'm going to brake now. Okay, so maybe the first thing was that I put the other person in the first place, and I didn't even use my voice. So this is something that I have to check, something I have to sit with. Like, Joanna, where are you putting yourself in second place? Where are you not using your inner voice? That's important. Yes. But okay, let me grow with this and let me see this from a strong point of view, which is, okay, I did the best that I could. And I still fell. But you know what? Right now, I don't know if I would have chosen something else. Probably not, because like I told you, I was on my bike. So if I would run over this person, probably I would be even more hurt. And I would probably be even more, yes, I would probably, my bicycle would have been worse. That other person would have been hurt. So, I think that all the time, there is this adult approach to things that we can have as well. And more importantly, okay, how you see failure in your life. Imagine a situation where you feel like you failed or that you're failing. You can see this from the two sides of the coin. Okay, I'm a victim from this situation, from this person. Because of that person, my bicycle is ruined. I have scratches and wounds all over my body. I'm a victim from this situation. Okay, so this is one side of the coin. Okay, this victimization is important in life as well. Give some time, and it comes from a childhood point of view. Give some time to your inner child to be sad and to cry, oh my God, this really hurt me. So let me just cry because my leg is hurting and I love my bicycle. It's scratched. There are some parts that are not perfect anymore. I'm sad. But at the same time, am I a victim of this situation, or did I just do the best that I could? And now we just go to the other side of the coin, which is you're doing the best that you can. I did the best decision considering the situation and the context in that present moment. So I feel now that I couldn't have done something differently. And even though I still fell, so even though I still failed, probably, see that this is a metaphor, right? I'm connecting things as always here in this podcast. Seeing that probably I failed, okay, but even considering that, I still feel like I did the best decision that I could in that specific moment. So give time to your inner child to cry, to feel like a victim. So, but be the adult responsible in terms of like, you know what, I'm going to deal with your wounds, but you know what, that person also didn't do that in a bad context. Yes, I still put that person in the first place. I have to admit this. And I didn't use my voice. So what I did was I sat down with that feeling of like, you know what, where in my relationships, in my decisions, am I not considering myself in the first place? Where am I not using my voice? And I can even tell you that I was coming from a situation where I was not using my voice, where I was not putting myself into in the first place. So I see immediately life responding to the fact that I was not responding to the fact that I was not putting myself into in the first place. But okay, am I going to keep being a victim of this situation, or am I going to change it? Okay, no, I'm going to be the adult responsible in terms of like, you know what? I love you so much, Ruan. I love you so much, my bike. Okay, but now it's time to move on. What can you do? Could have you done differently? Let's approach failure in this way. Could have you done differently? Nothing. Okay, so this is not a weakness. You were not weak. You did what you could in that situation with what you had available to you. And I feel that sometimes we are the ones who are so mean to ourselves, because we are like, I should have done differently, I should have known differently. And we are just being, I have an episode on these bad parents to ourselves. We are being that version of a critic parent inside of our heads. And no, this is not good. Let's go and let's move on into being the responsible of our lives. And if right now you feel like you're failing in something, maybe approach this in terms of like, you know what, I did what I could and I'm doing what I can. I'm doing the best that I can. And if you're not doing the best that you can, okay, let's go into that. Let's sit with that. Okay, how does that feel? Why am I feeling that I'm not doing the best that I can? Most importantly, usually it's because you're not doing the best that you can for yourself. You're not doing things from a loving point of view in your life. That I can guarantee you from my personal and professional experience. But what is it failure? What's failure? What's failure? And from which side of the coin are you going to approach failure? And I feel that in life, it's important to approach it from these two sides that I brought you here today. So victimization, and from a strong point of view where, you know what, could I have done differently? Maybe not. And I still lose maybe something, like I still hurt myself, but I was not weak. I just did the best that I could. And this doesn't mean that I'm weak. It means that it's just life. I still maybe had to fall from some reason that I don't know yet. And you know what? I can even tell you that there is a reason, because um, I have been healing some trauma. Oh my God, why am I feeling emotional right now? I have been healing some trauma, and I've been connecting myself a lot with the moment in my life where I was little and I fell. So I feel like this falling and this moment where I fell was, this fall was really important for me. So I know that I'm not weak. There was a moment in my life when I was little where I fell and I was made feel weak for people who were around me. So, and I've been talking a lot about this, and I've been going a lot into that subconsciously. I feel like I want to share this with you, so I'm sharing it, even though I'm still in the process. And falling in that moment of my bike was really a feeling of like, you know what, I put that person in the first place. I didn't use my voice, so I went and sat down with that feeling, like I just told you, and I know where I was not using my voice now in my relationships, in contexts where I was not using it right now, in this present life. But I'm still strong, and I'm so strong. And, while taking care of my wounds, while approaching things in a practical way, like, you know what, I just don't want to be like this forever, or I'm fine. I still dealt with it in a very practical way. Like I just told the lady, you know what, it's fine. I just didn't want to run you over. I'm fine. I'm still going to cycle home. And I kept on going. This really made me feel like, oh my God, I'm not weak because I fell. I'm so strong because I dealt with it in the best way that I could. Yes, I would have preferred to have used my voice probably, and just shout like, get out of the way, or I'm coming, just. But yes, I would have preferred maybe to use my voice, but I still feel like I did the best choice. And I still got up and I still went on my bike, and I've been treating my wounds with so much love. And this just makes me feel, you know what? I don't ever have to think that whenever I feel like I'm failing, that I'm weak. No, I'm strong because I keep on going, or because I'm gonna change direction if I feel like keeping on going is not the solution. So failing and falling in this example that I've given you so far is not a weakness. It's life happening. Um, and oh my God, you know, what I feel from family constellations and from self-development process, when I'm dealing with it myself, or when I'm guiding other people doing it, when I'm facilitating it, is that, oh my God, it's so multidimensional. Life is so multidimensional. I've just told you so many things. You know, I was on my bike, I fell because I've put some other person in the first place because I didn't use my voice. So I had to sit down with that feeling, and I had to realize that, yes, I just didn't use my voice, and I was not putting myself in the first place in the context where I was coming from. So I have to learn from this. Second of all, I felt like for some time, I felt like I was a victim, so it was good to sit down with that feeling, and it was good to tell my inner child it's okay to cry. It really it's hurting as hell, so just cry because it's really hurting, and you love your bike, and it's not at 100% now. But that doesn't mean, and then I had to move on to the adult version and being strong and understanding that, you know what, it's okay. You know, you can still fix your bike, you can still cycle, you are strong, you're going to take care of your wounds, and you're going to go on your bike and still cycle home, and it's fine. It could have been worse, and that person also didn't that because she was mean to you, and the world is not mean to you because you love so much your bike and you just fell on it, and now it's not at 100%. It's okay. You know, you can deal with that. You can work on it. You can change direction. You can choose to see this from a strong point of view, like, oh my God, I just fell. I could have even gotten to the road and be run over by another car, or I could have just killed this woman. And fortunately, I had a reaction that allowed me not to kill her and just hurt myself a little bit. Um, and I just did the best that I could, and I still went on my bike and I cycled like for 20 more minutes home, even though my leg was hurting so much, and I didn't even know about other wounds that I had. And I just did the best that I could, you know, like I keep on repeating this. I did the best that I could, and I've just realized that earlier this week I've shared on Instagram this sentence, and it was not even connected because I hadn't even fell from my bike yet. So, you know, multidimensionality in healing ourselves, definitely. So please, if you feel like you're failing in something in your life, just be sweet to you in the first place. Allow yourself to be like 5-10 minutes into victimization, but then also move on. And if it's not possible for you to move on from victimization, just go and see that. Go and treat that with any therapy. Um, because we are not supposed to be into victimization forever. It's good to be there for some time because it's what allows us to realize that, oh my God, this is not okay to me, or this hurt, but now I need to re-signify it. Like I was telling you, I have been re-signifying the fact that once I hurt myself when I was little, when I fell, I was put into a place where I was forced to feel weak in that moment. So I've been re-signifying this. So let's re-signify this, you know, let's give it another meaning. Let's see it from another approach. Let's see it from another point of view. Let's see this from a point of view where, wow, I am so strong, you know, because I fell and I still went on my bike and I still cycle and all these things that I already told you. So I'm going to repeat the sentence that I brought you before, which is, it's possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. Okay? And this is not a weakness. It's what life is. And now you're telling me, okay, but How is this possible? Because sometimes that is not the path to you. I don't know what could have happened to me if I didn't fall. Maybe imagine that, I don't know, another street after that, I would have crossed the road still too quickly and I would have been run over by a car, or I would even fell or fall in another way, or I would have gotten home earlier and I would have, I don't know, fallen from the stairs. I don't know. Yeah, we will never know. I will never know, I think. Um, but yes, it's not to approach, I'm not trying to approach things in a toxic positivity, with a toxic positivity. Yes, positivity, toxic, I don't know what to put first. Yes, but toxic positivity point of view, no, I don't believe in that. I feel like things have to be processed, like I told you. Victimization is important, but let's not stay there forever. Let's move on from that. What can you do differently? Can you do something differently right now? If not, either keep on going or just change direction. And okay, these are for me the two important sides of failure. It's okay, approaching it and taking care of your inner child and the things that really hurt him or her, but then just move on into, okay, I still did what I could and I still the best that I could, and I still fell and I still hurt myself and I still hurt my bike, and it's okay. There's no one to blame. Let's just deal with it. Just deal with it. And allow yourself to deal with that with a cold and still compassionate and practical point of view and mind and heart. Because wouldn't that be the best thing that, for example, if you were little right now, wouldn't that be the best approach you could give to your child? Imagine that your child would have, or like a little kid would have fallen in front of you. Would you not hug her or him? Would you not be compassionate by or about her or his hurt? Of course you would. But then you would be like, you know what? It's okay. Let's move on. You did nothing wrong. You didn't see the step. It's fine to fall. It's okay. You can do it. Just keep on going. Next time you will not fall. And if you fall, okay, we will be here anyways, or someone else will be here anyways. Wouldn't this be the approach? So why are we so hard sometimes on ourselves? Why are we so, I shouldn't have done that. I knew that. I should have just changed that. I mean, is that going to lead you somewhere? Maybe not. Just maybe not. Yes, from a learning point of view, this is what life is about. It's about learning. It's about dealing with failure in a from a learning point of view. Okay, can I do something different next time? Maybe. Maybe I could have gone a little bit slower in that specific point, because you never know. You cannot control others, so you don't know how the other person is going to react or cross the street. I could have used my voice, but for that, in these specific moments, I should have maybe used my voice in other contexts before. So, can you see the multidimensionality of healing and of situations in life? It's amazing. And when we fall, when we fail, when we feel that we fail, oh my God, life gives us so much information about ourselves, so much information about what we can be, what we can do. And again, if you feel that you are stuck in victimization, just go into that. Who are you still feeling a victim of? Can you see that? If not, just go and heal it and ask for help for that. But just don't stay there too long, because that's not going to lead you somewhere good. That's just going to lead you to a place where you will keep feeling that you're failing and that everyone else is going to fail you. And for that feeling of everyone else failing you, I have other episodes before. So I advise you to maybe listen to it again and look into that again. So I told you that I was going to bring you Portuguese word sometime no, again this time. So yes, I feel like the Portuguese word I'm going to bring you today again is, I'm not sure if I told you this word before or not, but this is what makes sense today, which is failure. So falha in Portuguese. Um, yes. Can you be strong after failing? How can you deal with failure? In which side of the coin are you today? This is my question for you. In which side of the coin are you today in terms of the things that you feel, or where you feel that you are failing in life? Yes, so always learning, right? I will update you on my wounds of my bike, but yes, I think that this multidimensionality of healing is just beautiful. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.